Just out of pure curiosity, I wanted to ask first, when you meet somebody for the first time now, if they don't know who you are, but they ask what you do, what do you say now? Do you say actor or?
I usually say I'm an entertainer or I'm an actor.
You've got to be careful with entertainer though, because they might think you're a magician.
Yeah, I'm okay with that,
So you say that, but then they ask for a magic trick, you're fumbling with a packet of cards. Trust me, you don't want to.
No, I've never been in that situation.
Anyway, the film though. The first question I had when I left that was, I wondered whether it would be as much fun to make as it looked, or whether with all the stunt work it would have been absolutely grueling. What were your memories of production with it?
No, it wasn't grueling at all. It was actually a lot of fun. I mean, we kind of had the run of the stadium, and it was outside, and it wasn't your typical movie set. We weren't in trailers. We had these big boxes for dressing rooms, and every day we'd come in and. We'd come in, go to work, and I'd go outside my box and I'd sit in the stands. And it's like, there's 5 other people sitting in the stands. And it was kind of peaceful. And there's usually always a group of people down on the pitch, playing or kicking a ball around. So no, it was great. It was beautiful. The weather was nice. It was wonderful.
The weather was nice in East London.
It was great. Yeah, I know. Lucky us, right? But it was beautiful.
I think the roles that most people are sort of familiar with you doing all sort of carry sort of an element of baggage with them, and people have preconceptions about how they want a Bond villain to be played. There was obviously a lot of discussion about how Drax should have been portrayed. Even playing an android in Blade Runner carries with it some other roles that sort of loom over it. But Knox is a total clean slate. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer having something to draw from?
I really consider myself a character actor, so it just depends on the character, and it's odd because, just for example, Blade Runner. The character of Sapper, I auditioned for him one way, and I thought that was the way, because I got the job, I thought that was the way that Denis wanted him to be played. But when it wasn't until I got to set where he just completely changed the character around. I thought he was a very ominous character. And when I got there, Denis said, no, he's very sad. He's a very sad character. And so I started looking at him completely different. So I think it has a lot to do with that. I think it's the character thing, but I also think it's, I like to be malleable, and I like to be directed. So I think, I kind of like to give the director what he wants.
Did Knox change a lot through the production of the film?
A bit. I was a little bit lost with Knox because he wasn't on page, and I'd never really played this straightforward character, action character before, and I was a little bit lost with him because I tend to. Everything to me has to have heart, it has to have meaning, and sometimes I need to lose sight of that one because sometimes people just want an action hero. They don't want a vulnerable action hero, they just want a badass. And I have to, I always had to keep that in mind, and sometimes I lost track of it. So it's just one of those things we just had to play with, and different takes I do different ways. But I think that's just being an actor.
And Knox, the character, made his feelings very clear on both British beer and British football. So at the risk of averting an international incident, I've got to ask, how do you personally feel about those two things?
I don't drink beer.
Safe answer, yeah.
And I've had a few Guinness that I've enjoyed, but they were also mixed with black currant.
Guinness and black, yeah.
Yeah, so they were a bit sweet. I'm just not that guy. And football, admittedly, I don't know anything about it. But I have to, in all fairness, I have to say that I just don't know much about sports in general. You would think me being a big musclehead that I would be the guy sitting down every week watching an American football game, but I don't. I have zero interest in it. Boxing is my sport. Boxing is what I follow religiously. Otherwise, I'm lost. Yeah.
Well, speaking of sport, I've very kindly been permitted one wrestling question. I get asked all the time, when would we see you back, that kind of thing. But that does kind of gloss over, I think, the real question, which is, how big is your desire to do that again? What would have to be on the table for you to do something like that? Would it be the right opponent, the right story, something to change with the
it would be a few different things. And I have to say that it's something that I think about daily. I miss it daily. I love it. I have a passion for wrestling. I feel at the core of me, that's who I am. I'm a physical performer, and I miss it every day. But I think, one, it would have to be the right time. Two, it would have to be the right opponent, and that's pretty much it. It would just have to make sense. And I think the last time I went back was with really good intentions, and I felt like I wasn't delivered what I was promised, and that was just creatively. And so that would be it. I'd have to have a strong say of what I did and who I worked with, and it would just have to make sense as far as time. I'd have to be, because not only do I have to be free, but I also have to factor in there is a risk that I would be injured, and if I got injured, I would need some time to rehabilitate myself. So I always kind of factor those things in.
Well, Dave, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Great.